Well, let's talk to cosmetic surgery advisor Cindy Jackson. Good morning.
Good morning.
Is part of the issue here that people aren't seeing this as a proper procedure? They think that they're seeing it just as a simple injection, therefore, you know, they don't worry about the regulation in the same way?
I think it's multifactorial. I mean, there's a recession on, so people try to save money. They do see people in the press with massive lips and they think it's a good look. And also, some people who are injecting, some of these practitioners, they make money per vial. So the more they inject, the more they get paid. And they might be saying to the patient, you know, it looks great, let's have more. And sometimes people do think a little bit is good, so more might be better. But in a lot of cases, they end up with the trout pout, lips full of filler, and it's not a good look, but people are making a profit. And when it infects, they have real problems. I have clients coming to me with massive infections, and some of them are very, very difficult to treat, and it costs the NHS untold thousands to help put it right.
But the wider problem is that people seem to be looking at it as an extension of their beauty regime, rather than the medical procedure that in effect it is.
It's kind of half and half. It's not a necessary medical procedure, but yes, it needs to be taken seriously as something you're doing to your body, which needs to be done by a properly qualified professional under sterile circumstances, people who keep the products sterile under proper conditions, so not to spread infections. So yes, it really is something to be taken seriously, but it's not necessary to have it done. People want it done because they want to look better. But when you go to
do they in the end?
Some of them do. Beauty can be enhanced with these products, but it can also go the other direction if it's overdone or if it's done with products that are not meant to be injected into the face.
I mean, when we are talking about something going under the skin, and particularly with something like a lip line, you've got to have someone who really understands, presumably, you know, the physical structure in a lip to get this in safely, do you?
Exactly. Well, I've had my lips done. I have them done off and on. I only go to an experienced surgeon who understands the anatomy underneath the skin and also is much more likely to be scrupulous about preventing infection and keeping everything sterile, which is extremely important when you're injecting anything into the body.
Would that be your advice then, not to go to anyone unless they had a medical background?
Absolutely. I mean, you've only got one body, one face, and if you mess it up and you start injecting mystery products, which happens so much, you wouldn't believe. People come to me and say, look what's happened to my face, the injections went all wrong. My first question is, what did they put in? You would not believe how many people say they have no idea what was even injected. Yeah. So people need to become more aware, patients and ladies who want to look better. Regulation is very, very important, but raising awareness is even more important, and that's part of my job. It's a major part of what I do. I mean, some patients go abroad to non-EU countries and get injected with God knows what.
Yeah.
And then they come back and then they need help, and all the regulation in the UK isn't going to change that because they haven't had it done in the UK, but the UK NHS has to put it right and deal with it.
Cindy, appreciate your time this morning. Thanks very much indeed. Think about it very carefully, seems to be the message there, and don't go cheap. Do it properly. Heck, you don't want it to go wrong.